Work, Life, and Self-Care. This session is conducted by EIY in Mr. George. We're gonna learn how to have it all and enjoy it all by balancing your life and your work. Our guest speaker, Mr. George Gates, and I will discuss how to navigate a balance between work and life using evidence based strategies and anecdotal advice. Our guest speaker will also talk through how best to practice self care and gratitude. Mr. Charles Gate, he's a high energy presenter, workshop facilitator, and a host. He's having interviewed many politicians, businesses, and thought leaders over the last decade. And if your association or organization is looking for a speaker who doesn't pull punches, tells it like it is, and on why or transforming your thinking, he's the guy. His goal is to help you and your organization get back to the fundamentals by implementing easy to insert strategies for success. Hello, Mr. Jones. Welcome you to EIY Education Session.
Thank you, Anna. I am delighted to be here.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you here as well. Now, I think that many people are watching and they asked some questions. The first question is that why do we would like to talk about this topic, work, life, and self-care, and how is it important to you?
Well, number one, why should we talk about it in this age of COVID? Because we are more isolated than ever in our human lives. For many of us, it is so important to find that balance between work and life. Because too often we tend to put work, and put on the back burners our personal lives and even sometimes our families. So we have to talk about this, and especially in these trying times. And then secondly of all, work-life balance is so needed for peace of mind purposes, because too often, again, we put work in front of family, and we forget about all those important things. And think about this: when your days are over, when your life is over, would you rather for them to say that, you are a good worker, she was a good worker, or would you rather for them to say, this person was a fantastic person because they put life and personal needs in front of work needs?
So it means that at this time of our life, that is the COVID situation, we sometimes it's hard for us to distinguish between work and life. And that's why this topic is quite important at this time, right?
Right. Now, understand too, I am not a psychologist. I am not a medical professional. I am an experienced person who practices self-care every single day, even on Sunday.
I see. What do you do on Sunday to practice self care? Is that like today is Sunday as well? Can you please share with us how did you do that?
Well, I will tell you, for me, Sunday is no different than any other day. I exercise every single day. There are very few exceptions to that. And by exercising, I'm not talking about going to the gym and spending hours in the gym. I'm talking about having a morning routine, which also includes Sunday. And for me, and for many others, and I encourage people to do this, when you wake up in the morning, be gracious. Be gracious and show the gratitude by implementing what I like to call 4-7-8 breathing exercises, which is simply to breathe in for 4 seconds, breathe out, hold for 7, and then breathe out for 8. So that's 4-7-8 exercise, breathing exercises. It helps to clear your mind and set the tone for the entire day. And then for me, again, it's all about morning routines. You start off with that breathing exercise, followed up immediately by a tall glass of water, not coffee and all that other craziness that people put in their bodies, but water. And personally, I like lemon water. It helps to flush the body out. And then I will go immediately into some type of meditation, whether it's stretching exercises or whether it's going out for a walk, whatever meditation means to you, go for it. And for at least for me, and it can be for your audience as well,
Yeah.
every single day, if you wake up with that, breathing in, and while you're doing those breaths at 478, think about what you're grateful for. What did you what are some of the people, who are some of the people that have made big differences in your lives? What are some of the things that have come across your mind and your life that you are grateful for? And then show that gratitude by doing that moment of breathing. When you're breathing, show the let it come out of your pores and say, you know what, I am grateful for where I am. And even if you're not where you want to be in life right now, breathing in and showing that gratitude and saying to yourself, I will do this. I will become this because I am. And if we do that, we will live a life unlike most other people on this planet. But it starts off very first thing in the morning.
How does it benefit your life, Mr. Charles?
Oh my
When you
goodness.
meditate, when you breathe in and breathe out and you practice gratitude.
Practicing gratitude to me is so important on many levels. But most importantly, I think about where we are in life. If we're anywhere past the age of 5 years old or anywhere in life, we have not gotten to this point where we are in life on our own. So we have to be grateful, not only for the people in our lives that help us get to this point, but be grateful for every moment that you're here on this earth. How many times do we hear about young people who we thought were fit and they were doing this and that, and they end up passing away? And if that happens to any of us, and there's nothing written in the cards to say it can't, once we live a life of gratitude and we show that to others, we will be so much better as people, and our inner spirits will be so much better for it. And let me share this with you. If you are a decision maker and you work with people, if we don't tell those people in words, I appreciate you, if we don't say that to them, if we don't tell people through our mouths, not some text message or not some email, or we assume that either our employees or our people within our circle of influence think that they're appreciated, we don't know. They're not mind readers. We have to tell them that we appreciate them. And until we do, we cannot assume that people think that we care about them.
I see. It means that whenever you feel grateful for someone, it's better to speak out loud so that that person can understand that.
Sure. You have to say it out loud. Think about, there's a quote by Maya Angelou, the great Maya Angelou. She says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right.
And how do they know how much you care unless you tell them? You can make gestures, you can buy them gifts, you can do this and you can do that. But until you say out of our lips, I care about you, it makes all the difference in the world.
I see. Now let's talk more about relaxation, Mr. George. Since Christmas time is coming and we are about to have a big holiday, what is the proper way to have self-care, a proper self-care, so that you can be rejuvenated after this holiday?
As joyous as this holiday season may be, this is one of the most stressful times of the year because we
Really?
want to please people primarily. We want to make sure that people within our circle of influence are pleased by our actions, if you will, the gifts that we give. Did I treat these people right by at the end of the year? What was the mindset of my people during the course of the year? Did I do this for this person? Did I do that for this person? And this is the gift giving time of the year. Even though it should be all year, but this is the gift giving time of the year. And many of us feel as though we may not have measured up during the course of the year. So at this time, we want to make sure and reflect on, are we giving did we give back to the people who helped us during the course of the year?
Mm.
Once Christmas and all of this is over, now it's time to unwind. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is to reflect, to say to yourself, okay, take some time for yourself. And I know for me, it's taking a walk. It's not sitting in a quiet place and meditating and things of this nature. For me, it's getting outside in the elements, whether it's 20 degrees outside or it's 70 degrees outside. Going outside, taking a walk by myself. And while I'm walking, saying to myself, okay, that's over. Instead of critiquing myself and evaluating on how I did, simply walk or find that happy, quiet place and say to yourself, did I do right? Not by me, but by others during the course of the year. Because I'm going to do right by myself. Many of us don't, but we should. We should say to ourselves, you know, self-care is so important, but at this particular time of the year, it's about other people. But we cannot neglect our own selves, our own self-care in that process. So in my opinion, one of the best way to do that is to whatever that is for you. For me, it's walking. For you, it may be something else. But whatever that happy place is where you can find that balance, that quiet space to sit down, close your eyes if necessary, breathe in and say, you know what? How was my year? How did I treat other people? And now that this season is over and we're about to get into a new year, what can I do to be even the better servant leader to others and be better to myself? What do I need to do? So that is, and then family and friends. Get around your family and friends and talk and laugh. And you know what, we so often not mention fun in things that we do. We become adults and we think that fun is no longer an option. We're not supposed to have fun anymore. But you know what? Fun should be a part of everything we do. You and I are both business owners. And business is us. This is what we do. But I know for me, every moment of every day has to be some element of enjoyment or fun involved in it, because then it becomes cumbersome, it becomes worrisome, it becomes it becomes stressful. And if we incorporate that fun, that fun, that enjoyment into our lives every day, and every day is not going to be a great day. Let's be honest. There are going to be challenging days, but minimizing that stress, knowing to yourself and saying to yourself, I am going to minimize stress. When I feel this is coming on, I'm going to go outside or go outside my office or wherever it may be to take a break, whatever that break may be to you. And that, to me, is how you minimize the stress levels.
I say so. It means that holiday time, especially this time, is the time for you to reflect on what we have done each year. And some techniques is we can just meditate or even walk outside to make sure that you have time to ruminate on those events.
Exactly.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why we feel quite stressful in this time, just because that we need to give, and that's I think that's also the reason why we call Thanksgiving, because that's a time to give.
And
Yeah,
to be thankful. And to
yeah.
be thankful. I mean, we have to consider where we are in life. Life is full. We are where we are because of a series of choices we made. And if giving thanks is not part of your thought process, I believe we need to look in the mirror and say to ourselves, you know what? How can I change? How can I be the best version of me possible? And that starts with the person in the mirror. And too often we want to blame others. We want to make excuses for things that we in and of ourselves should be taking responsibility for. And if we're not thankful and grateful to those in our lives who have helped us get to this place or are helping us get to this place where we want to be, we're missing the mark. We have to be grateful.
I got your point, Mr. George. Uh, I think I see that many corporate professionals sometimes they spend time on holiday, but the point is it's quite hard to disconnect from technology. Sometimes they still need to check their phone in order to make sure that work is still fine. But I don't think that's the right time for us to unblock and really take care of ourselves. So if you were in that situation, what would you do in order to have a complete self-care?
Put the phone down.
Mm,
Put the phone. Look, my
uh,
phone too is right next to me. Like most of us, it's within an arm's reach.
mm,
But if you want to practice self-care,
mm,
now when I meditate and I go for walks and all this, I'm a music lover. I like music. I listen
mm,
to music most of the day. Even when I'm working, I have some soft music on in the background. But we have to be disciplined enough to put the phone, if you're going to have your phone or some kind of electronic device with you, to make sure that you are only focused on the music or some
mm,
podcast or something like that, other than walking around checking emails. I mean, how many times have we
mm,
been to the beach and we see people checking emails on the beach or having a laptop at a beach? Leave it in your
mm,
room. If you go on vacation, don't take it with you. Don't take the
mm,
laptop with you. Most of the things that you can access from the laptop, you can access from your cell phone. You're not going to go on vacation without a cell phone. But when you go to the
mm,
beach, do you really need a cell phone with you? Do you
mm,
really need it? When you go on a walk and you're not a music lover, you're not a podcast lover, do you really need to take that with you? That is the time for self care and walking and reflecting. And I know for
mm,
me, when I'm walking and listening to music, most of the time it's instrumentals. It's an
mm,
instrumental. It's I'm a New Jersey, USA guy. So I was brought up on what's called house music with
mm,
beats, and 140 beats per minute. And for me, I like to
mm,
take a step with every single beat. Boom,
mm.
boom, 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 boom. It makes the walk fun. Your pace
Uh,
is high. You're walking about 15. You're walking about 15 minutes per mile. I mean, 15. What is it? 15 miles. Whatever it is. 15. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. You're walking at a very fast pace, and before you know it, you've walked 3 or 4 miles without even thinking about it.
mm. I see. Got you. So you combine walking and listening to music at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you enjoy it so much.
Mm,
You enjoy it. And sometimes I even take a loop. Like I may want to walk here to there, but because the music is so invigorating, I'm having so much fun in the moment, and my mind is just absorbed in the present moment. I
mm,
may bypass my final destination and keep going.
mm,
I know my wife doesn't like it sometimes, but I'll walk into the night. She doesn't really like me being out at night, but I do it anyway because I'm so
the
into
moment.
not me into the music and into the moment. And if
Mm,
we get as corporate people, if we get into the moment more often and use that electronic device for things other than checking emails and responding to this and responding to that, you'll respond. They'll get their response in due time. We have to really schedule our days out to say and block some of that time off to say, you know what, this time is for me. It's like
mm,
exercise. We have to put our exercise schedule, our exercise regimens
yeah.
into our schedules. And
Mm,
don't make excuses that, well, I have a meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to have time to exercise. Why not get up earlier? Get up earlier, put it in the schedule, and get it done. Too many times we make
mm,
excuses for why we can't do things, but the fact is, we are the only person holding us back because we can't do
mm.
it.
Right. That is very meaningful. We are the only person that holds us back. Mr. George, I see that some parents, like the middle managers, they have family already, and sometimes they also need to take care of their kids. And how can those people manage to have self care? What is your advice to middle managers whenever they have families and kids already?
Well, I'll give you an example. Right now, There,
mm,
we are watching. My wife and I, we're watching our 2-year-old niece. We're watching her
mm,
for some time, or more than a week. But you know what? Does that mean that we can't exercise? No,
mm,
she comes
mm.
with us. If we're
Ah,
going to go on a walk, we put her in a stroller and roll
mm,
her right along. Now, what does that
mm,
do for her? That gets into her mind that, you know what? If she continues to do this in life, and we're going to
mm,
encourage her parents to do the same thing,
mm,
to put this as a regimen in your daily lives. When we go, look, all right, here's the answer to that question. Include your kids in everything that you do. Now, I know if
mm,
you got a brand new baby that's 6 pounds or so, you can't take them out to exercise with you. But while they're sleeping, and I know that can be difficult. I'm
mm,
not living in an alternate universe. I know it can
mm,
be difficult, but we have to find ways to take care
mm,
of ourselves through any means necessary. Incorporate family and friends to help you with your children. And again, once your children get a little older, take them with you.
mm,
If they don't allow them in the gym, don't go to the gym. Do something
mm.
else. I haven't been a gym member for over 20 years, but yet I exercise every single day, and I'm in really good shape. I mean, look, I just turned 60 years old, and I will
Ah.
tell you that people will ask me often, well, Charles, you look good for 60. And my response is always, what am I supposed to look like? Am I supposed to have
Oh,
a
that's a
big?
smart
Am I
way.
supposed to be out of shape? Am I supposed to have a bald head? I mean, no disrespect, but my dad, my brother, both bald. But am I supposed to have a balding head? Am I supposed to not be able to walk for a few steps without running out of breath? No, it's all about taking care of yourself. Now, I know life gets in the way sometimes,
Mm,
and life may throw you some challenges and hit you with a left hook, a right hook, and throw you off your game. But it's up to you to get back up on that horse. And your
mm,
kids can be just a part of your journey as you want them to be. To look, think
mm,
about it. Many of our kids play sports. Let's say they play soccer or they play football or whatever they play. And we as parents, we take our kids to all these different sporting events. There are no rules saying that you can't walk around while you're sitting there watching the kids practice.
yeah.
But often, what do we see the parents do? We see the parents drop the kids off for basketball practice or whatever it may be, and the parents take a seat and they're sitting there watching the kids. Now, my girls, we have two girls, they're a little older, but our girls, when we took them to their practices as children, as little kids, I would go for a run. I would go for a run
Oh,
in
that's
the area where I'm still watching them. The girls can
mm,
still see me looking at them, but I wasn't sitting with the other parents. I was out there going
mm,
for a run, going for a walk, doing jumping jacks and doing push-ups. They would look at me like I was crazy, but that was okay. I was okay with that. Look, I'm a crazy infant character. I'm good with that. And what happened was many times, many of those other parents would say,
mm,
Charles, can I join you? And eventually
mm,
we would all go walking around the track. We would all go running around the track. We would all jumping jacks. And the girls and the coaches, they would look at us and say, wow, look at this. Ladies, this is how you should be living your life. Not
mm,
sitting on your rump, but getting
mm,
up, getting things done. And being just because you're in a practice does not mean that you are obligated to sit here, sit on your duff and watch. You too can move. So my ultimate answer, I know that was long-winded, but the answer to your question is, in my opinion, is very simple.
mm,
Incorporate and include your kids in everything that you do, up to and including taking care of you.
mm. Yeah, and another lesson that I just learned from you is that be resourceful and be thinking out of the box, not just to stay within my frame and then whenever you take care of your kids, you should be like this or you should be like that. You can
Sure.
be yeah,
Now I
you
know
can
there's
be.
some women out there where I would say, well, it's hard.
Mm,
I'm with you. It is hard.
mm,
It's difficult. But as you said,
mm,
on we have to think outside the box. Too often we
mm,
go through those years of when our children are little, and then we gain all the weight and we start having health issues because of that. It doesn't have to be that way.
mm,
Even the moms who are single out there.
mm,
Now, I'm a guy.
mm,
I get it, but I work with a lot of different single moms out there and try to encourage them find that support system somewhere. It may not be family. It may not be
mm,
friends. Perhaps you need to make some new friends. Make new friends if necessary, but do
mm,
whatever you've got to do to make sure that you are taking care of yourself. Because if you do not take care of you, the pharmacies, the doctors will love you. And I will tell you, I haven't taken so much as an aspirin in over 25
mm,
years. None.
awesome.
None. Zero. No headaches, none of that craziness. Not to say that I'm any better than anyone else, but the
Mm,
fact is that we have to put health and self care first
mm,
and foremost, regardless of what you do for a living. And you may be the best person in the world at whatever you do. But if you're
mm,
not taking care of you, eventually that professional life that you're leading is going to suffer because you have not taken care of you. So at the
mm,
end of the day, it is again about you taking
mm.
care of you. No excuses, no worries. And just like Nike, just do it.
Good, good. I like that conclusion, Mr. Charles. Just really get to the point. Just do it.
Well, you know what?
Mm,
Too often we sit around and we make excuses for why we are like we are, or we make excuses for why we can't do this, why we
mm,
can't do that. My question always is, why not? The only person, again, holding you back is the person in the mirror. And if
mm,
you look at yourself and look at your life and evaluate your life, especially as you said earlier, this time of the year, we're at the end of the
mm,
year. We're in the holiday season. This is a very stressful time for many of us. It doesn't have to be, but it just is. It is what
mm,
it is. Let's not
mm,
sugarcoat it. But
mm,
knowing that going into this year and thinking about it, newsflash, this year
mm,
comes around every single year at the same time. Christmas happens the same day. New Year's always happens the same time. Thanksgiving, all of those other holidays at the end of the year, Hanukkah and all of that, they all happen at the same time every year. We know
mm,
it. We're not surprised. So why
mm,
not take the necessary steps to minimize the stress? If you're a big gift giver, who says you have to buy gifts only in December? We can buy
mm.
gifts all year round, save
Right.
them, and then give them when the appropriate time comes to
Mm,
minimize that stress. Who the heck wants to be in the store or go online and try to order something that's already out? That's
mm,
stressful. Oh, I've got to get this doll for my niece, but it's sold out. Why go through that? Get it in August. They're
you
not sold
think
out in
that?
August. Get it in August. Get it in July, and
Yeah.
minimize that stress that is inevitable because you know it's coming. And take care of yourself because that person in the mirror is the only person that can help you.
I feel inspired, deeply inspired by that. Mr. George, do you believe in work-life balance? Do you still believe in that term that we still can balance between work and life?
I do. I do. I think it's the intersection between professional and personal. And
Mm,
if one side is weighted heavier than the other, if yes, that's
mm,
going to be you. Make
mm,
it the side of personal care. Let
mm,
that outweigh the other. Because
mm,
professionally, if you take care of yourself, you enjoy what you do, you're going to be a
mm,
happier person. And ultimately, the people around you are going to
mm,
see it, they're going to feel it, and they're
mm,
going to express it, especially if you're the leader of the pack.
mm,
Or even if
mm,
you're not the leader, if they
mm,
see it in you. People mimic what they see. It's like kids mimic their parents. People will
mm.
mimic what they see. If you're the
Sure.
leader and you're taking care of yourself and you
Mm,
are insisting that your people
mm,
balance their lives between personal and professional. If we
mm,
do that and we're encouraging others to say, hey, listen, we know you're working hard and we
mm,
want you to work hard, but take a break, take care of yourself. And think about it as leaders, if we're not, again, it goes back to asking questions and telling people how much we care. Are you taking care of yourself? How is your
mm,
family? Do you have enough time? Are you taking care of your family? Are you taking care of your personal and financial needs? And are you happy? And if
mm,
I'm the leader of whatever you happen to be a part of, if I'm not
mm,
asking those questions, I'm doing a disservice to my people. And ask those questions genuinely. Don't
mm,
just ask them because you think you have to. Ask and then zip it
mm,
and listen to what they
mm,
have to say. And if
mm,
you're an open type of leader, you want to encourage your people to talk to you. And when they
mm,
start talking, you be quiet and
mm.
simply listen. We weren't born with two ears and one mouth for no reason. But too many
Yeah.
times we want three mouths and one ear because we don't listen to understand. We listen to respond. But if we learn to listen to understand our people and sit
Mm,
back and say, you know what? I understand.
mm,
Put down the cell phone while people are talking and show them that you are genuinely listening to them and their concerns.
mm,
Everyone in your circle will be a much happier person. And again, really emphasize to have that balance between work and personal self-care. And when we do that and we practice those methods that we look, we're not reinventing the wheel here. Most of us
yeah.
know what we have to do. We simply
Mm,
choose not to do it. We know we
mm,
shouldn't be eating chips and all that craziness that we eat. We know we should be drinking more water and not sodas and all that other stuff. We know
mm,
this. We don't need to read another book to tell us that we something that we already know. Stop
mm,
making excuses and make it happen. And
mm,
self-care and work balance, we know that we should have that fine medium range between the
mm,
two. But yet
mm,
we choose to say, well, I need to finish this project. Okay, I get that.
mm,
But prioritize it, plan for it, and make it happen. Don't
mm,
overburden yourself because eventually you know that it's going to be to the point where you are overworked. And if you, again, this goes back to the leaders that are listening and looking at us right now. If you
mm,
are a leader and you are burning your people out, you are not a leader, you are a driver.
mm,
And we need more leaders who are going to take a hold, take it, and make it their responsibility to make sure that their people are on the
mm,
top of the game at all times. And it's up to us as leaders, again, to strike that, to really encourage. We can't do it for them, but we can
mm,
talk about over and over striking that balance between
mm,
personal and professional life to be, again, the best you can be.
mm. Awesome. I like that conclusion again. You really know how to make a point at the end. Mr. Charles saying that it's time for us to say goodbye to our viewers tonight. What is your final message that you would like to share with our viewers?
Take care of yourself. When you wake
Mm,
up first thing in the morning, have the mindset that this is going to be a great day. Now we know that
yeah.
some days are going to be harder than others. We get that. But at the end of the day, each one of us has 24 hours in our day.
Mm,
Choose to have a good day every day by striking that balance between work and personal life. And that when your life is over, when that person who presides over your funeral or whatever that case is going to be, let them not say that you were a good worker, but a
mm,
good person.
mm. That's so lovely and meaningful, Mr. Charles. And hi everyone, thank you so much for watching our education session tonight. I feel grateful and I will take care of myself based on the advice of Mr. Charles. And thank you so much, Mr. Charles, for joining us. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you. Had a blast.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.